Next video we finna go ahead and react to is This Might Be the End for Soulja Boy. Now this one I'm not hip on, you feel me? Like I literally just seen this on my homepage and said, hey, let me go ahead and give this a look, cause I don't know what been happening with Soulja Boy. Shout out to KB Goes Live. I definitely be watching KB Goes Live videos. He be doing another docuseries and stuff like that. So I ain't got no introduction. I ain't got no opinion or nothing. Shout out to Soulja Boy. My boy be tripping, but he don't be tripping. But he be tripping. If you know, you know. You feel me? So let's get into this video.
So, Soulja Boy has been making headlines this week after going to court and losing a lawsuit to a woman who was his personal assistant that he hired back in 2018. Soulja Boy is a rapper who, over the course of his career, has no doubt had some massive records. Records like Crank That, which have been certified 3 times platinum by the RIAA, meaning that it sold more than 3 million copies. Not to mention that this song came out when ringtones were still being sold for your cell phone for about $1 to $3 a piece, and it's estimated that on top of the 3 million records he sold with Crank That, he also sold approximately 3 million ringtones, which alone could have generated
Stop playing with Big Soulja.
Not only that, but he did have other hits when he first came out. Songs like Kiss Me Through the Phone, Pretty Boy Swag, and a few others. It's safe to say that he made a small fortune during this period of his career. Even after you take out whatever percentage the record label took and taxes, it's safe to say that Soulja Boy was sitting around with millions of dollars in his bank.
If y'all wasn't around for the Soulja Boy era, like we was there from the beginning of Soulja Boy, like when that nigga was putting the fucking fake songs on LimeWire, you think you getting a new Lil Wayne song or you getting a new 50 Cent song or a new Kanye West song, and it's fucking him playing Crank That Soulja Boy, which was the most genius thing ever. We've been there from the beginning. You feel me? Y'all wasn't there. You fucking millennials that wouldn't know.
Bank accounts. But after this verdict that was just handed down in court, it looks like Soulja Boy could be facing some more serious financial problems. That's because his old assistant that he hired back in 2018 would eventually formally accuse Soulja Boy of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse in a lawsuit that she filed in 2021, resulting in a jury awarding her $4 million in compensatory damages and another $250,000 in punitive damages, making a total of $4,250,000 that Soulja Boy will now have to cough over unless he wants his wages garnished and his assets seized and being sold off. The story goes like this. Soulja Boy hired this 20-year-old woman who hasn't been identified by anything other than Jane Doe as his personal assistant in 2018, promising to pay her $500 a week for her work.
Bruh, imagine getting sued for some shit way in 2018 for $500 a week and you up M's. Got net worth of millions and a motherfucker being paid about $500 a week? Let's see how much this shit go up to. What the fuck?
The woman moves into Soulja Boy's home as part of her job. A romantic relationship develops by January of 2019.
Romantic?
Shortly thereafter, the assistant says Soulja Boy's behavior turned abusive. According to the assistant's lawsuit, Soulja Boy embarked on a nearly 2-year pattern of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. In early 2019, he allegedly pushed her out of a car during an argument and forced her to walk 5 miles back to the house. The first sexual assault
5 is crazy.
February of 2019. Afterwards, Soulja Boy, quote unquote, expressed remorse and paid her $1,000 to try to make up for it. The woman claims that Soulja became violently.
I ain't gonna lie. You get hit out of a moving car and you only want $1,000. Fucking crazy. At least ask for 2. What the fuck?
Jealous, spitting on her when she tried to quit, and frequently punching, kicking, and body slamming her over social media interactions that she was having with her followers. Basically, if a dude would leave a comment on one of her posts, he would freak out. On at least one occasion, he allegedly locked her in a room without a bed, no food, no water for 3 days as a form of punishment. During this 3-day period, she would also allege that Soulja Boy would repeatedly R-word her, and in one message that was sent from Soulja Boy to this woman, he told her, "I should have killed you." This all culminated in a brutal attack in August of 2020 in which Soulja Boy beat and again R-worded the woman to the point that she said she feared for her life. Following this incident, she left his house and cut off the relationship. 1 month later, she went back to his house to pick up her belongings, and while she was there, she said Soulja Boy again physically attacked and R-worded her. The assistant said that the abuse was so constant that she didn't even even feel human anymore. She said, I felt like an animal. And this led to her filing her lawsuit in 2020.
Cause you know it would be wrong. Let me be a nigga for a second. Niggas be thinking when a girl coming back to get her stuff, they think that's that window to like, okay, let me try to woo her one more time. Let me try to put it in her one more time and try to digmatize her so she won't go nowhere. Like, bro, no, bro. Leave that shit alone, bro. If a girl coming to get her shit, let her get her shit. And ladies, don't go alone, bro. Because like I said, that's how niggas think. Niggas think they got one more chance to digmatize you. Like, nah, bro. Shit don't go like that. It's just weirdo activities.
In her complaint, she accused Soulja Boy of an array of offenses: sexual battery, assault, gender violence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, creating a hostile work environment, and false imprisonment. She also claimed that Soulja Boy failed to pay her the promised wages for the work that she did as an assistant, effectively accusing him of several labor violations. The suit was seeking a significant amount of monetary damages for the trauma and injuries that she suffered, and she requested a jury trial. Now, Soulja Boy publicly denied the allegations, and in a statement given to TMZ, a representative for Soulja Boy called the woman's claims nonsense, insisting that Soulja would never put his hands on a female. Soulja Boy himself told the press that he vehemently and unequivocally denied the allegations and said that he had...
Now, y'all be for real. Y'all think Soulja Boy know these fucking words? Vehemently and unequivocally. Be fucking for real. Soulja Boy do not know them fucking words. Y'all stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with mine. Stop playing with me.
He had contacted his legal team to refute what he was describing as lies. Soulja Boy's legal team also responded to this in court, formally denying all wrongdoing. And over the next few years, the case moved through the pretrial process, like evidence gathering, depositions, pretrial motions, and the proceedings faced a few delays, in part due to backlogs in the court system. So the trial didn't immediately begin in 2021. It wouldn't start until 2025. During this period, reports emerged of graphic evidence that was going to be used at trial, like pictures of this woman's injuries and lengthy text message threads between Soulja Boy and her. One message where Soulja Boy told her, "F you B word, I hope you die slow." All right. Throughout this time, Soulja Boy didn't make any further public comments about the case, but he did have a separate legal issue arise in mid-2021 when he was ordered to pay a hefty judgment to another woman stemming from a past incident. In this case, a Los Angeles jury found Soulja Boy liable for assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Kayla Myers, during a 2019 house party. In this unrelated case, there were allegations that Soulja Boy pistol whipped Myers and held her at gunpoint.
This man
and
a savage, bro. What is he on?
Awarded her approximately
what you own, blood?
$72,000. This separate verdict demonstrated a pattern of allegations against Soulja Boy, and eventually his
not a door wide open
to seek out new court orders to seize Soulja Boy's assets because he failed to pay her when it was all said and done. It wasn't a good look and didn't help his situation in his other court battle with his assistant. In late 2024, the Jane Doe lawsuit is finally scheduled for trial, and after several years of pre-trial wrangling, the stage was set for a courtroom battle in 2025 where a jury was set to hear all of the disturbing allegations and decide whether Soulja Boy was going to be held accountable. By March of 2025, the woman was taking a stand to testify, and when she got on the stand, she described for the jury everything that we discussed earlier, like being locked in a room, being R-worded, being punched and kicked, body slammed. They also showed the jury the messages between Soulja and her where he pretty much said that he should have killed her and he wished she would die. When it was Soulja Boy's time to defend himself, he decided to testify in his own defense, directly addressing the jury, and that's something that I'm sure his legal team highly advised him against doing. That's something that we don't see people do a lot of the times in these type of cases because they don't have to testify on their own behalf. Anyways, when Soulja Boy got up there, he portrayed a very different version of events. He claimed that the woman was never actually his employee. Instead, he characterized her as somebody who hung around his house and helped roll his blunts, and he said that she was free to come and go as she pleased. He insisted they had a consensual relationship and that he never physically harmed her. He questioned her.
This shit getting tough. Cause I like reading between the lines, so I know there's a little bit of truth into that. He probably hired her to be an assistant. She wasn't on shit. She like getting high. He probably caught feelings. I ain't saying he ain't do the other stuff, but that first part was definitely probably true.
Her credibility, argued that her story changed over time, and said that she had multiple opportunities to leave if she truly felt endangered. During the closing arguments, Soulja Boy's attorneys emphasized that the woman stayed with Soulja Boy by choice and had received quote-unquote room and board plus gifts and other things rather than a salary, which they argued was an industry standard agreement for informal assistance in the music world. And basically this was them trying to escape the labor violations she alleged from him not paying her the $500 a week. During the woman's closing argument, her lawyers asserted that Soulja Boy had to be held accountable, and they asked the jury to award her $73.6 million in damages.
Man, what? $73.5 million off of $500 a week in 2018? What the fuck? Bro, you should have paid her the $500 a week. I ain't gonna lie, $500 a week in 2018, that was a lot of money. Today, that's not a lot of money, but back then, that was a lot of money. But $73.5 million, bro, ain't that much hurt in the world. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Ain't that much fucking hurt in the world.
That they argued was justified by the extreme trauma and losses that the woman suffered. And with those final arguments, the case went to the jury for deliberation. When they returned a verdict, the 12-person jury found Soulja Boy liable for sexual battery, assault, gender violence, intentional affliction of emotional distress,
$73.5 million ass whooping is always worth it.
Violations related to unpaid wages. However, the jury did not find him liable for false imprisonment, and they also cleared him of creating a hostile work environment. As a result, they awarded the woman nearly $4 million in compensatory damages.
Crazy.
This sum was meant to cover her pain, suffering, lost earnings, and any medical or therapy costs that are going to result from the abuse. Shortly after, in a brief additional proceeding, the jury also decides on punitive damages to further penalize Soulja Boy for his conduct and awarded the woman another $250,000.
God, bro, from being a blunt roller to being up $4 million off a $500 a week gig. Oh my God, bro. She hit the fucking lick of the century, bro. My God, man, my bad for keep pausing, but what the fuck? This shit getting crazy.
Making a total of $4.25 million that Soulja Boy now owes this woman. This verdict is a clear legal defeat for Soulja Boy, as the jury has legally affirmed that he abused and injured his former assistant, and they hit him with a multi-million-dollar financial penalty as a result. According to the reports, Soulja Boy smiled calmly upon hearing the decision. Now, his lawyers reacted to this saying, "We maintain that the evidence does not support the verdict. It is unfortunate that aspirations and misperceptions of a culture are allowed to influence the trial. Mr. Soulja Boy fully intends to pursue his post-trial remedies and to fight for a just result in this case." So they're basically saying, even though they found him guilty in court, we still believe that he's innocent. That's what his lawyers say. And shortly after the verdict, Soulja Boy actually personally addressed the media outside of the courthouse, where he read a prepared statement off of his phone to a cluster of reporters that was there. Here's what he said.
I ain't gonna lie, that boy flying that blazer.
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not...
Y'all think he made this shit with ChatGPT before he came outside? Cause what the fuck? Y'all, he had time to write all this shit during the trial? Like what the fuck? It's right after the trial.
Present during the events in question. And I feel that the system allowed external influences to shape the outcome. Furthermore, the use of Jane Doe as the identity of the accusers raises serious concerns about fairness. Keeping these individuals anonymous while I'm forced to face public scrutiny creates an unequal playing field. I believe this entire process has been tainted by a system that is not designed to protect the rights of the accused.
And that was
make it clear that I'm innocent. This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain. And I will not let that stand. I am committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. I will continue to stand by my decision and believe that I did not commit the crimes
in the back trying to get some clout.
Thank you to everyone who has supported me during this time. I promise that I will fight until the end to clear my name and expose the truth. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Would you mind repeating the first 3 sentences?
Hey, come on, bro. With that fuck shit.
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement.
What kind of phone is this? This shit look big as fuck.
Not present during the event.
What kind of phone is that?
Events in question. And I feel like the system allowed external influence to shape the outcome.
Unless his hand is little as fuck.
Not only did he address the media in those clips, he also did what he normally does in these types of situations and went on a rant on live about how the trial was unfair.
I'm the sexiest nigga in the world. I'm that nigga that made Pretty Boy swag.
Bruh, rappers always do this and fuck themselves up,
They out
bro.
here trying to attack all our black rich. Man, I don't know what to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? They out here trying to take down all the rich black. They mad because I own my own. I ain't signing no. You know what I'm saying? They try to take it down.
Ego gonna always do this to rappers, bro. This the same shit that happened with Tory Lanez. Same shit that, like, bro, the judges and the jury gonna see this shit and not feel bad for you, bro. They're not gonna overturn the shit. You flexing on everybody. You flexing on your victims and shit, bro. You gotta look traumatized. You gotta look sad, bro. Ego is a motherfucker, bro. Ego is a motherfucker, bro. Every time.
How this got all this money? How he got all these stores? How he got all this? So they gonna try to lie on him, make up shit on him. Because I'm the first rapper to do this. They did the same shit with Jay-Z. They did the same shit
This
with
nigga comparing himself to Jay-Z
They did the
and
same
Diddy.
shit with everybody.
This
All
nigga
my
crazy.
fans know what type of person I'm in. All my fans know how I get in. I never do nothing like that. On God. Them folks scam me up in that courtroom. All them folks in there was old as hell, 60-year-old, 70-year-old white people. Where the young people at on the jury? Where the black people at? I had one black person on the jury.
That's
Them
crazy.
folks can't wait to fry my ass in that.
Hey, it's crazy.
I'm Gucci, bro. If Kendrick Lamar can stand at the Super Bowl and call Drake up and he's still living, I'm good.
You got a point. Got a point.
You feel what I'm saying?
You got a point. You, yeah.
Mama, if I actually outside of the why ain't in jail then? The f you mean? Why you going to ask for some money? Go tell the police to come lock me up. If I touched your ass, lying ass, ain't nobody touched your funky ass. On my mama, y'all can't see what these folks trying to do then. Y'all want to believe what these folks saying? Y'all want to promote this? Come on, come lock me up.
You gotta pay a blunt roll of $4 million, bro.
Can't take it to jail, but when I go in and ask for some money. Who the f want money for being assaulted? Will never stop me. They did it to Michael Jackson. They did it to P. Diddy. They did it to R. Kelly. They did it to Bill Cosby. They did it to all the black. They did it to everybody. God.
With that, Soulja
That boy
Boy now
compares
has to
that to
file
some
an
crazy
appeal to try to
comparison.
overturn the jury's verdict. And if he's unsuccessful, he'll still be on the hook for the $4.25 million that he now owes this woman. $4.2 million is a lot of damn money.
Yes,
he could
it is.
choose not to pay, but just as the last woman who accused Soulja Boy of these things did, this woman will be able to file injunctions that could force Soulja Boy to sell his assets to satisfy the debt, like his cars, houses, jewelry.
I'm filing
He could
bankrupt.
confiscate
Fuck that.
money that he has in his bank accounts and even garnish his future wages if he decides he don't want to pay.
Dirty game,
It's been
boy.
a long time since Soulja
Dirty
Boy
fucking
had a
game.
hit record under his belt, and while I don't know the ins and outs of his personal finances, something like this could certainly force him into bankruptcy due to the substantial amount that he now owes this woman. Soulja Boy has already claimed financial strain in other cases, citing tax liens and a lack of recent touring income, but the court can compel payment regardless of his excuses. Then there's the impact that this can have on his career and his reputation. Not only can this impact whatever money he does still have left, it can undoubtedly jeopardize his future potential to earn money, as people may not want to be associated with this type of activity.
Crazy.
Either way, it's not a good look for Soulja Boy.
At all,
we'll
bro.
have to wait and see where it goes in the future. Does he just pay and hope it goes away? Does he appeal and win? Does he appeal and lose? Or is his financial future sealed with this guilty verdict? Only time will tell, but for now, that's the story, that's the video. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about it in the comments down below. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.
Damn. W fucking video. That's crazy as fuck, bro. Imagine you bring somebody to your crib, right? You say, all right, you gonna be my assistant. I'm gonna pay you $500 a week. You feel me? What is that? 2 bands a month. All you gotta do is help me with my business. Feel me? Roll a couple blunts when I need to. You get to eat for free. You get to live for free. And you get $500 a week. Beautiful. Whatever you did after that, you feel me? If you sexually assaulted her or you did some domestic violence shit, while just giving her that, bro, like, you played, bro. That shit is not worth no $4.2 million, bro. That shit is not worth no $4.2 million. You played yourself, my guy. Like, oh my God, you played yourself, bro. But one thing you did not play with is this crack right here.
Draco. Soulja. Ricky.
How you sexually assault a girl? You made this.
Ricky Morty. Ricky Morty. Rick.
You played, bro. Damn, Soulja. Draco. Fucking played yourself, bro.